Hello and welcome to Roaming Norway. Today we are going to take a look at the new refresh Model 3 from Tesla, also called Tesla Model 3 Highland. This has the stealth colorway, which is kinda like midnight silver, but has a more dynamic color to it, and the white seats and the 18-inch aero wheels. This is also the dual motor variant, available alongside with the rear wheel drive Model 3 refresh. I will not be able to drive this just yet, but I hope to be able to drive it as soon as possible, and then you'll see a video on this channel. I'll be going through all the known differences that Tesla has published, and I'll also check out the materials and everything else that's difficult to quantify on paper. I will start with the trunk. It's much more solid than on the old Model 3. It has two lifting gates instead of just one, and the headlights will follow all the way up, so there's no longer any split headlights. The trunk seems wider and there seems to be slightly more space, and also the fabric is all the way around the vehicle, also on the trunk itself, which is not the case on the old Model 3. The fabric is unfortunately still missing in the roof of the trunk. The rear seats can fold down in a 40-60 configuration, just as before. Here is the door thunk. Here are the controversial seat pockets. They look exactly the same as in the Polestar, and they seem very solid to me and won't leave indentations like the old ones, so I like these ones. Here is the new rear screen, so we can adjust the climate, music, you can adjust the front seat actually, and I'll talk more about this screen later, but you can lock these features of course. Let's move to the front and let's talk first about the new ambient light that's available. I am happy to finally see some customizable ambient lights in the Tesla. This is a thing I found that I really appreciate when driving other vehicles, so it's nice to finally see that in Tesla. The LED strip doesn't line up perfectly between the doors and the front LED strip. I hope they can fix those in the production version of the car. There's a new piece of fabric in the front. It feels nice, but doesn't feel super premium. There is a new screen in the back, and for those asking, yes, you can lock the screen so the kids don't mess around with the settings, and you can also control the entire screen from the front screen in real time, which is really cool. The scroll wheels have more resistance and feels much more premium than before. And the blinkers are now buttons instead of a stalk, which will piss every European off. At least the buttons are super responsive and tactile, which I think is fantastic. In the long-range model, you get a 17-speaker 2-subwoofer sound system, which sounds absolutely amazing. And I think when people who are audio engineers will compare it to other vehicles, it will be super interesting to see, because to me this sounds like the best of the best. All the seats are perforated, but the two front seats are also ventilated. But you cannot have them on ventilation and heating at the same time, which is unfortunate. Here's the new center console with the 12-volt outlet. The USB-C port is moved back and it's just one USB-C port now. The cup holders look and feel very similar. The new armrest is magnetic, which is a common theme in this car. The infotainment feels super snappy, but it should be similar to the AMD Ryzen Teslas that have been out for a long time already. But of course it does route planning and stuff like that, like every other Tesla available. This car indicates 426 kilometers at 78%. The new door release is super satisfying. It's a real button. Thank you so much for watching my Tesla Model 3 Highland video. I think I'll be able to get my hands on it sooner rather than later. It'll be a little while since these are prototypes, not production vehicles. But stay tuned and I'll try to get a driving impression video up as soon as I can.